Be Your Best You, the Passionate to Purpose podcast with David Delaney. It's Friday, good morning, and welcome to this episode of Be Your Best You, where this morning we talk all things art with our guest. Kieran Hyland is a contemporary artist from Portarlington in County Laois, and Kieran spent a portion of his 20s searching for external fulfillment. When this wasn't to be found, he resorted to mind-altering chemical substances as a means of escape. But he says he always found meaning and fulfillment in artistic expression, be it through his music or stand-up comedy or his exploits on canvas. He now believes there is no high comparable to that of satisfying your artistic curiosities. Join us as we talk to Kieran Hyland about all things art. Kieran Hyland, how are you?
God, yourself.
Good to have you. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Where are you hiding? Where are you in the world right now?
Oh, I'm in a bunker here. I always say I'm in a bunker in Abbey in Laois. Great, I was part of the world.
Absolutely.
So it's as you can see, it's grand and dark in here, and the ceiling's low.
all good.
Yeah.
Tell us, okay, you're an expressionist artist. Give us a little bit about. Tell us what you do. What does an expressionist artist do?
Oh, jeez. I haven't got that one yet. What does an expressionist artist do? It's funny. I'm looking at a guitar here and a bow on, and like straight away I'm going to them. I paint and I do all that crap. But like an expressionist artist, I suppose somebody that creates from just within, just picks something up or looks at something differently and thinks, how can I change that, or how can I rearrange that, or how can I put my own stamp on that, but in my own way, like not in a kind of a thought way, I suppose, in a way that's kind of spur of the moment and just loose and I don't know, I don't know. That's all I can think of. Like it's purely creating things from within and with no kind of structure or no methodology really. Just like I pick up that power on there and I just start whacking it. Like that's how I learned how to play it. I just start whacking it, and then kind of feet started to come, and then I started listening to music and different to painting there. Like the kind of I fell into the expressionist, but once I clicked with that, there was no going back. And
where did it come from? Where did this come from? You grew up in Portarlington, and like surrounds. Like we say, a lot of creative people pick these things up at an early age and kind of develop and like, was it something that you've always done? Were you always painting? Were you always dabbling in creativity? Like where did this come from?
Not really, no. Like, well, I was always, I suppose, artistic, but I never dove into it. I never had a run of like, the parents would go, he's really artistic or whatever. I kind of tried it all. I kind of dipped into it all. I never picked up instruments or anything, but I went down the kind of the electronic music route where I got decks for my 14th birthday and I was mixing music. So I went down that road, but I got out of it really quickly. As quick as I bought them, they were gone, or the father bought them. And then same, I was always scribbling on books and stuff like that, but never enough that people would kind of put a label on me, that kind of way. Because it was always sport. It was all that chasing girls and drinking and doing that crap when I was younger,
So when did it happen? Like you've gone from that, like people, there's recording artists have your pieces, there's writers have your pieces, fellow creators, your pieces are going around the world. Okay. But when was it, last year before? When did it actually kind of say, well, I'm going to do this? And like when did that happen? When was the big aha moment for you?
Well, it was less than a year ago. It was April. Well, no, I wouldn't say the aha moment was April last year. It was April last year in the lockdown when I got the crayons, when I took the first steps And I just pulled it out of. I had a few old dusty travel journals there that had all this shit that I wanted to do post an unfulfilling life, say, that I was living. And I was like, right, these are all the things that I want to do now. And uh, art was one of them. And I suppose I just started cracking into it. I never really. It was still kind of, oh, I'll keep doing this in the lockdown and keep busy and have the crack. And I was having some crack in it all along. Some
Yeah.
of the stuff I was drawing is just wild. I still have them. I love them. But I say, like, the aha moments was probably when I start using the blindfold for the creativity. I start blindfolding myself, and kind of that was the click to from kind of abstract surreal, just having the crack, to uh, I'm actually doing some psychoanalysis here, and
Okay.
I'm loving it. It was
So
really it was wild, yeah. So
what does blindfolding, like, what does that do for your process?
so well, have you ever tried meditating, just closing your eyes, sitting in a room, and like no apps, no bullshit. Just sit down, close your eyes, and
Yeah.
just breathe. Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar, especially early. I can kind of compare to early meditation, where there's a lot of thoughts. You don't really know what you're doing, but after about 5 6 months, it starts clicking, where you kind of go into it. You get into a groove, and you're just switching everything off.
Okay. So
And then
is your
and then you're
process, like, is it meditative, yeah, for you? Is it a form of meditation that you create?
oh, absolutely, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm long meditating, years meditating, but you kind of learn from trying loads of different types that anything where you're in the moment, and there's no noise or there's no outside influence, there's nothing going on, only what is in front of you, whatever you're using, your hands or your feet, or whatever. It's that every time now. Like, it used to be, look at it, look at the cat there, look at the fruit bowl, or listen to an album. But the blindfold was the switch to let subconscious, first of all, let the subconscious in, and let the thoughts in, and listen to them and understand them. But then, not only I wasn't taking the blindfold off, I was actually drawn with the videos of me on YouTube with the blindfold on,
Okay.
drawn, and then straight away, as I, like, this is fucking pride shit. Like, straight away when I would whip the blindfold on, I would look at the painting, or the not the painting, the I did with markers, and I would interpret straight away, literally as quick as possible. What is that? And why is that what it is?
Okay.
And now
So it's a
it's that way
form.
all the time.
It's a form of therapy, I suppose. That's what you're
Ah,
like.
yeah, absolutely. Like, it's hilarious. Like, uh, it's so funny. I did a lad's podcast where it's kind of about mental health and stuff, and he was saying that it's very similar, and it is.
Okay.
And I had our therapist reach out to me looking to, can we do some sort of research or whatever, and I said, no, I have no interest in that therapist. I want a
Okay.
hardcore
So
psychologist come on board here.
right.
Like,
So when you work, okay, so you mentioned there are a couple of things, like you look at things, you recreate, you kind of deconstruct them and then recreate them. So, like, some artists will say that, oh, that's a piece of me, or I can see this is a part of me, and I've put like 2 months or 2 years or 20, whatever their process is.
yeah.
Are your pieces a piece of you, or can you say and walk, like, can you walk away from art? Some artists find it hard to give away pieces or to sell pieces. What's
Mm,
like, are your pieces part of you, or is it a response, or a reaction, or like what is it? What is it for you?
yeah. Mm, are they a part of me? I'd say I'd say only since probably August or September, when it was all about just the, the manic kind of expressionism. It only really since then, because the way I paint, like, it's a joke. Like, I put up short videos of what I do, but I'm walking around these, and I'm like kind of jumping into them, and depending on the color and what the color is saying, I'll get really wild with it. Use both hands, like, kind of straight. You want to see the state, like, the state of the room. Never mind the room. Like, all my clothes are straight. I don't have like overalls. It's the joke. Me and the room gets wrecked when I get into a good flow here. So how can that not be you going into that? Like, anybody that knows me, that would look at painting. It's not necessarily the markers or the early days. They go, that's tiny all over because I have a lot of energy and I'm always moving and I'm always on my feet, even though I sit down for a day job. But like the minute that laptop's closed, I'm up and everything gets open then. And of course, it is a part of me. Like, it's
Okay.
like anybody can do it. Anybody can do it, but not everybody can represent themselves. I think as well as me because I put it all out there online. I put it all because I have to. I have to because it's as simple as that, David. Because anybody can do it. But
Okay.
yeah, in order,
And
just
do
do it.
you, yeah. Do you work on any individual, like, do you work on one piece at a time, or do you have multiple pieces on the go, or what? Like,
Oh yeah, I know. Shit. Sure, you're looking around. I have some of the blues around me now because I'm working on something with the Laois supporters club, and it's the whole room is blue. Like I'm doing a kind of a painting to give away for them, but I love making cause like I don't want to waste the paint. Like I'm not, I don't want to there's enough paint wasted on the ground here behind me. So like I've loads like I'll definitely always have one if I'm doing one canvas for a commission, say, I'll have a load of smaller pages around it or close, and if there's any excess dripping off the table or on the floor, I'll just scrape that up with a palette knife and horse it down. Because then when you're in that, like when I get into that zone, like again I'll compare it to meditation. If you're 10 minutes in and you're just there, you're in the sweet spot. It's no different to me with painting, where that painting is starting to take some sort of wild shape. It's starting to it's starting to kind of form, and then I like having smaller versions of that around me as well because that's all part of the process, because those big commissions, they go away to special clients and that. But then I like having smaller ones around me and throw them up online and go, here, look, this is what you see here, and I can have the crack then with the people online with that.
Okay, and that's something you do. I mean, you do caption competitions on Instagram and LinkedIn and the platforms that you're on. What's the best caption you've ever got, or the worst? What's in terms of captions? I mean, what was your favorite?
What was my favorite?
And did it match the piece, or was it like, whoa?
Jeez, there's so many, and do you know what? I only recently started to save them as well. You can save them as stories. I only saved 13 onwards, which I'm raging, but I didn't know you could do that. But what's the best? Jeez, that's tough. There's been so many, and not only there's been 20 caption comps. Like I do so many in the midweek as well, just for the pure crack that aren't a competition. I got the 2 weeks ago. Shrimp paste was a good one. I like that, and I didn't judge that either because I get guest judges on now as well. And shrimp paste was a good one. I got angry way. What was that one? Angry waves was a good one. But I really like that painting. That's one of the older ones.
Okay. And did they match? Do you felt that they matched what you were trying to? Or what
no,
they don't.
Not at all. That's the beauty. That's the beauty about it. I look at that and they go, blurred vision. How did you get all I see there is some old one looking at the curtains, and you're looking at. I just sometimes I don't get it, but that's why I love it. The crack, because I'm like, some people can be so literal. They're like, oh, that's just rainbow, but then other people are like, that's like my period, or they can get crazy with it, and that's what I love. People can get deep and emotional. People can get literal. You're getting an insight into people's psychology there, and I love that. It's brilliant.
Did you ever want to slap someone? Did someone ever say something to you as an artist about your process? And were they ever critical that you just wanted to hit them a slap?
No, not never. I wouldn't never want to get violent. I try to.
Okay, think about it. Did you ever want to think about slapping someone?
I feel sorry for a lot of people that give me hate, because it takes a lot of energy to throw a bit of hate towards somebody, especially. I think I think about this. Well, I don't think about it a lot, but when I do get the comments, I always think, I or any artist or anybody that's in a creative industry are literally creating something from nothing. They're taking an idea out of brains and they're putting something in the world that has never been there before. There might be something similar there before, like somebody look at my paint and go, that's Pollock, whatever. So there might be something similar like it in the world, but throwing hate at somebody like that's a sad. You're in a bad way there, Horst, if you're doing that. I suppose it's different if it's somebody like spouting some scutter about politics or some mad worldview. I think that's different because people that are in politics and all that they have the ability to make proper change. So like if you don't agree with that person, then fair enough. I think I understand why you would hate that. But if it's an artist, well, you can't the fuck down, like, would you throw the same hate at a 6-year-old, Because it's funny. I named the painting my grandson could make that a while ago, and I put a video up online about it, about because I used the hay for the crack. Like I got into it with, and that was a granny. That was a granny that gave me that, and I never really messaged him back at all, and I got into it with her, and I said, Jesus, would you actually say that to your grandson to stay at that, like, because she was like, sure, that's anybody could do that. My grandson could do that, and I was like, would you say that to your grandson? You fucking psycho! It's crazy. So I think it's so funny. I never want to, but again, other artists reach out to me and they're in bad ways. There are artists out there in serious rag order over getting hate online and whatever. And I just say to them, will you to relax? Like whatever, it's them. It's not you. It's not your art that's stirring up emotions to them. I don't know.
Is it a necessary evil? I mean, I know do a lot of work in the creative field myself, and I know, as you said, there's a lot of people who can be insular because you are. In a lot of cases, you are creating something from scratch. You're creating, in some cases, parts of yourself, and you're putting it out there. And there's a vulnerability to it as well. So online, it's a necessary evil because you need online, for example, to do your competitions, to sell your art. And like, would you, if you had the choice tomorrow, would you go offline? Would it be much harder to do what you do offline completely, and then maybe do a show and sell them through that, or sell them in a private world? Or is online necessary for what you do?
Absolutely, yeah, it is. Yeah. It is, because I wouldn't have became a professional artist had I not the online, and maybe I got there quicker because I have that perspective of, I understand the hate, and I get it. It doesn't affect me, so maybe, it absolutely is necessary. Like, maybe you could get somebody to do it for you. You don't have to be online yourself. Like, you could pay an old young one there to do your Instagram for you, 100, 200 euro a month. But you're not connecting there. Like, I developed relationships that, look, a year ago, sure, I was having meltdowns. I was like, what do I do with this, So it's like, it has to be done. You don't have to be on it all the time, absolutely not. Like, I'm on it every day, but sure, there's nothing else to do. Like, again, I get my exercise done and I eat my dinner, do a bit of gardening. Sure, there's 2 hours there in the evening, throw it up a paint and have a bit of crack. I don't mind that. You get your negatrons of the world, but I love having the crack with them, because if you ping a message back to them saying, well, what's wrong with you? You okay? Then they go quiet. So, like, look, it is necessary. And look, I said this in the recent interview I did. That was purely an artist interview. Like, I just always say, who do these artists think they are, that that your work is so special and you're so special that the whole world will care about you? Because they don't. Nobody really cares, David. At the end of the day, we all have our own stuff going on. We have to get through the days. Days are hard enough now, like in this time especially. But like, nobody really cares anyway. So if you're in that industry of needing online, just the more you hop off it, the better, or the quicker your skin will get thick. Because I found that in a year you can go from zero to professional artist. You just have to go do it. I don't know.
You've said, Kieran, that there's no high comparable to that the satisfaction of or of satisfying artistic curiosity.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh Jesus! Well, look, simple as this. I was mad into the drugs. Like, I was on again, before, when I'd say a travel trip, I was just living a life of misery, really. I said this in other walks. There was twice. Once I had 2 conversations with my parents about wanting to kill myself. Once was serious. Once was red alert, and that all came off the back of being in a drug and drink fueled fog for years, because I basically witnessed my mother try to kill herself, and I came upon that scene on my own. And and that just led me down. That led me to the dark arts, the destruction of the drugs, and I was years, I was years trying to figure that out and trying to understand it. Never did counselling, never did any of that. Just I was in Canada and everything, and I was, just pure miserable. I shouldn't have been there. I was still, I was grieving her, even though she was still alive. But I was angry. I was angry with her and the world for just for everything. I was just a disaster. And then, yeah, that led me to drugs and drink and all that and misery. And then, of course, relationship and a job, and just like, I probably had a bit of entitlement as well about me. I had a degree and I wasn't really, I was like, why aren't I the shit here? Like, but again, I went after a job that I thought, I'll get that job and I will be the shit. And I did get it. And that made everything worse. I went down, that was the rock bottom bit. That was over in England, miserable. And then, yeah, and then, as I said, come out of that fog, and like when I went traveling, figure out all the stuff I want to do, write down, and come home and start taking it off. Music, get good at music and be a musician, go to gigs, jump in on gigs, have the crack, just keep trying to figure it out. Stand up comedy, I love comedy. I'm a crazy comedy nerd. I was like, go and do it, go and try it. It's probably that was and will continue to be, when the world is open up, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. The most vulnerable, scariest, anxiety inducing experience in my life was learning how to do that. And I'm hooked on it though. It's tough, but that's another thing that I ticked off the box. I did improv, learn how to do improv, just keep doing that. I had it all written down. And when you tick off all those boxes, when you pick up a guitar and you don't know what to do with it, you don't even know what the names of the strings are, you know, it's the best feeling in the world, learning something. It's crazy. And again, that's what I mean by that. I've done coke and ecstasy, and I put yoke up my nose, and I've done it all. And learning a guitar and getting up on the stage for the very first time was a way better high than doing any of that. So
Okay.
anyway,
So talking about feelings there, Kieran. I mean, do you think, um, like rock bottom for you? How did it feel like to be at rock bottom, and then how does it compare in comparison to now? When you talk about it in terms of feelings.
how does rock bottom feel? How do I even describe it? It's just like it's like a daily sickness where you're just dreading every day, and dreading your life, and just yeah, just a sick, a lot of tears as well. I cried a lot there with the parents, and yeah, it's just like, it's weird. It's like a depression where every day you're like, why am I? What am I? What is this? Questioning your whole existence. That was rock bottom for me, because I knew there was creativity in me, and crack and giddiness and entertainment. That was in me, because I got that from father. I was with him through his whole kind of artistic journey, well, for my life. And all the whole time I was like, I want to do that. But the whole time. But then like college, I suppose, gets in the way, and relationships and jobs, and then of course all that, and traumatic experiences, I suppose that's what kicked it off. You just forget about it all, and that just leads you to a pure hell. It's just really hard to do. Hard, everything is a dread. Cooking breakfast and everything is a dread, But
So,
now
so
it's
how,
the complete opposite. I don't like. I'm like, the minute I wake up, I'm gone. Let's go. I can't
yeah.
wait to get the day, get going. Like, it's
So
crazy.
how did you get out of that? I mean, how did you go from those feelings of dread and there's nothing here, and bleh, and how did you get out of that to where you are now?
A lot of conversations anyway in the early stages. A lot of opening up with. I didn't open up with, well, the parents anyway, straight away, because they made me. So if I couldn't, my reasoning was, if I can't talk to them, then it'll probably end, because they're the ones that made me. So I have to say something to them. So loads, just daily, maybe not daily, weekly conversations with them, and then I suppose I went on a bit of a help boat then as well. I started researching how are the ways you can kind of start to feel good and kind of get things right. And then I was really heavily overweight as well, David. I was really bad. I don't know what. I was 119 kilos. I'll never forget that number, because I was with my friend at the time, Fionn, and we looked at the scales, and I didn't start bawling, but a tear. I tried to be hardy. I tried to just say, try and straight face, but I did cry, and I was like, I can't believe that. So yeah, so I got healthy. That was one, but that was a long, that was a long, long road. Uh, so yeah, tried, of course, but the drugs came. Like I was still in the middle of that drug drink fuel, but parallel to that, I was getting fit and active, so that was helping. Then I kind of fell into I got deep into the meditation then in 2016. That helped a lot, and then yeah, that was about it. Good community and open. I suppose that's a big thing with me. I'm really open, and I'll always like even I always talk about it. Like I was coaching young lads there before COVID, and I always say to them like, "Oh, boys, you have to open up here." And guess what? They fucking did, and they were going through the same crack that I was going through, but 16-year-olds, David. So
Yeah.
everybody has it. It's rampant, but like nobody, we're not open enough. Well, I don't think we're probably getting a bit better, but I think my probably openness and willing to just not give a bottle of screws in front of me. I don't care. I'll tell anybody that I seen my mother say to me. I'll tell anybody that I don't care because if it helps somebody, and you know what it does, I know it does because the people are coming out of the woodwork, they're listening to these podcasts and they're like, "Jeez," you know. So yeah, that's how I got with that.
Tell me how you felt when you sold your first painting professionally.
Oh my god! Well, it wasn't a painting. The first one wasn't a painting, but I remember the first. Yeah. Well, the first correspondence about money, I had a complete conniption. I didn't know what to do. I was with my father at the time. I was like, what do I do with this? Because he understands, he's a musician. So he was like, look, yeah, I just really weird. I was feeling guilty and shameful, and I was all those kind of negative things because it's a pure spoof job. I was like, this is a joke. All I'm doing is crayons. See how many I'm cracking crayons here. Why do they want this? So yeah, a lot of that, a lot of kind of second guessing myself, and then yeah, just more kind of conversations with other artists and trying to understand it. Like I reached out to the first few people and I was like, "Why do you want this? Like you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. Don't say why do you want this." But I was doing it because I couldn't get it. I was like, What do you want this shite for?" But
Right.
then I suppose the more you do it and the more kind of confidence you get, and like I know I'm not spoofing now. This is serious. Like
Hmm.
I'm after doing some crazy, crazy commissions there, and yeah, I don't know, just unease at the time, but and you know what? That's still there, David. Like
Okay.
that is still there because
Would you
it's
call that
it's
imposter syndrome? Is that what they would call that? Like that you're not good enough to do this or fake it till you make it. Like what do you still
mm,
feel like you're not in the right? Like I'm not going to do this or this isn't me really. When someone says
mm,
here's some money for painting.
mm, mm, no, 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 not anymore. Like not no. I definitely did it early. The first few paintings, I was kind of like because I didn't have a I wasn't confident in how I was creating it. You know what I mean? I was just doing any other which way, and I was like, "But sure, this is just anybody could do this crack." Now, look, anybody can do the paintings now, but they can't do it the way I'm doing it anyway. Jesus, I tell you, you don't want to be fit and active. But no, no, not anymore. I don't feel it anymore because I tell you why. It's every day. I'm doing it every day. I'm learning so much about kind of color combinations and that. Not that you don't need to know a lot, but I'm learning myself what I know looks good to me. Not what I know that sells, because everybody knows that, but I know I love doing and what looks good, and um, doing these from start to finish is like it's a whirlwind of a journey. So that kind of imposter syndrome is it's long gone, especially since I started painting. Um, Music now is different. When I'm in on a when I'm in on a session, I'm like, "Jeez, like I need to get a good view of the other guitarists to follow them along, or because that's another thing. Like the music is humbling me as well because it's so hard. It's never ending, never
Okay.
ending. So that's good. Yeah, yeah. Definitely, I'm definitely an imposter when I'm in on a session with the tunes.
Well,
So
look, this time next year we'll have you back, and we'll be talking about music. And
yeah,
I do want to ask you who inspires you
oh, father.
and
Yeah.
why. Okay, is there a particular reason why?
Yeah. Like he. Yeah. I don't know how he continues to do it, but I don't know how he raised three lads, like three absolute lunatics. Like, we were big and burly rugby players from a very young age, and just like mother has her own mental health issues. He had to sacrifice so much. Like, basically a musician, gave that life up for many years. Musician and entertainment. I'm realizing like how special I am and my brothers are, how close they are with our parents. It's it's not um it's definitely unique, the conversations we have with our parents. And like, I play gigs with the father, like he is the constant inspiration. He's always trying different creative avenues. He's a multi instrumentalist. He's hilarious, great storyteller. He has it all. Kind of, he has all that package, as well as he's so strong. Yeah, it's a joke. And it's so funny when I tell all these people in their interviews, like, it's not fucking Picasso or Rocco, and I'm like, no interest in any of them boys. They're not a patch on gem. And Trish as well. She's different gravy altogether. Different. The parents are just, they're just so strong. It's a joke, and I'm nowhere near that. They made me like it. That, fair enough. I got a bit, but like, if I'm half, not even half, if I'm a quarter of the parent that they are, and the people, then I mind grand, I'm on doing all right. Never mind art, music, and all that. Just as a person, as a human being, they're the constant source of inspiration. I know that's like wishy washy and all that, but look, it's the God honest truth. Like, I couldn't have opened up the way I did then, that time I was at rock bottom, telling the father that I don't want to be alive here. You can't do that unless you're solid, and there's nothing I hide from them, nothing. And that's the God honest truth. I tell them everything. Like, I don't go in and like tell them like everything I'm getting up to, but there's nothing I wouldn't tell them, and there's nothing that they won't tell me either. And that's just the way it is. It's crazy. I love going over and having the tea. I can't wait. It's always powerful and funny, and it's bananas, the sessions with them. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The last time I heard the word wishy-washy, Kieran, was on an interview on RTE Radio, which happened to feature you, actually.
Did I say wishy-washy?
You said wishy-washy, indeed.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
Well, there's two. You could explain, because would you believe 15% of the audience for this podcast is in Canada? So we have to explain conniption, probably, and we have to explain wishy-washy.
Well, conniption is basically just a meltdown, like a freak out. A momentary.
A wishy-washy, I suppose, the context is something that, I don't want to get all lovey-dovey, or suppose kind of soft. I don't know that way to describe it. But what were you doing on RT Radio? What were you talking about? It was Valentine's Day, I think.
What were we talking about? Well, it was me and the Mrs. Paula, who you know. We just, I don't know what it was. Somebody just messaged. Oh, actually, no, it was Paula's friend. I think it's her sister-in-law. Either her sister-in-law or a friend, I can't really remember anymore, but they messaged RTE were looking for couples that met in the lockdown, or they were looking for lockdown love stories. They weren't looking for anything in particular, but apparently it was all misery. It was all just, oh, we were supposed to get married and now we're broken up and he left me for another woman. And so Paul's friend obviously knows of our story, that we met in the middle of lockdown. Broke a few rules to meet up. Well, we were within our county, so never mind that. I don't like Laois. The numbers are low in Laois, so I didn't feel too guilty at the time. And again, Paul is good looking, like shit hot, and I was like, I have to go meet her, So I have to do something. So yeah, we just met. So yeah, I don't know, the RT thing. They just got a hold of us, and we just did an interview. And it was hilarious because the way they did it, it was just all the misery stories, and then of course us at the end. And that was it, David. And I swear to God, like I got crazy sneering from all the boys in the football and the rugby clubs. But it was the first time I understand what people. I don't know if it's famous, but people that are really like busy online. Like, my phone was, I don't have notifications turned on, so I don't know when anything's happening. But when I logged into Instagram and logged into Facebook, it was just ping, 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 like red notifications, and I was just like, this is insane. Is this what it must be for those people that just can't get off online, or the women that put pictures of them naked up and they're getting all those likes and that. That's what it was like. It was crazy. I mean, Paul were looking at each other eating dinner going, what the fuck? It was hilarious. And like, do you know what else was good about that? Lads that I played rugby with in college and stuff that like I literally hadn't seen in college. They're that 4-year friendship, but after that you kind of go your own ways. They were all coming out that listened to RT in the morning, and they would have heard it in the vans going to work, and they just sent me a Facebook message. So it brought up all that crack as well from college, and loads of great conversations there with Pi. So yeah, it was funny. So that was that. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, jeez.
It's been a busy year. I mean, it's been fair enough to say it's been a busy year. So what the next 12 months, Kieran? What's the next 12 months? Do you have a plan? Are you just going to go for it? What's going to happen? What's up?
Just keep doing it, yeah, keep doing it. Never lose the want. You know, every day I just cannot wait to get into the studio. I'm always like, I can't turn off. I have Paul's heart broke with it. Like, well, it's not, but like every time we're talking about, I wonder what I could paint on or what I could create, or always thinking of what to do next and trying it and seeing if it works. And like, I have a few, as I was saying, those early days crayon drawings. Like, I formed some relationships with people that I would never have even thought I could get near. And when the world opens up, I'm going to be meeting them, and we're going to be creating. Like, it's just not dreams, but goals for the art, and how I can connect with people that have brought me so much joy throughout my whole life. I know all these people now, and I'm so close to them. And when the world opens up, I'll be close enough, I'll be able to shift them and touch them. You know, it's crazy. And we're just waiting. We're all sitting down, and they're like, every time I post a painting, they're like, can't wait if you get doing here or go here. You know, it's so, there's so much in the pipeline that I just can't wait for the world opens up. And again, you know what? If it doesn't, so what? Like, I don't care if we can fly anywhere for the rest of the world. I'm in my own bubble here, don't have my own crack. It would be nice because I love travel, but like, you just get on with it. Like, yeah, there's interesting things happening, and there's I've loads of goals written down, but they're all dependent on whether I can get onto a plane or if I can drive down the road. And if I can't do that, grand, I'll just stay in my bunker here and drink my tea and talk to Paul and have the crack.
You know, happy days.
Yeah,
happy days.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, straight it on.
Kieran, tell us where we can find you. Where can we? Is there a worldwide web presence for that bunker? Where do we find you?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. Well, only for one part of it. That bit there, if you can see it, the bit with the car motor. Where can people say? Look, everything. It's simple as that. Everything. Like, at this stage, like YouTube, like it's Spotify as well. At this stage, like, it's everywhere. I suppose like the best way to kind of, you know, if anybody wants a painting, the best way to do it is to get on my Instagram and engage with the caption comments or what do you see, because every now and then I'll throw up a poll, and I will use, depending on the results of the poll, I will put the yes or the no answers into a name generator, and I will send the painting to those people, you know, depending on what it is. So like, if you want to paint, if you like the paintings and stuff and you want one, you have to get a hold of the Instagram, because that's really only where I give them away. And then, of course, just bang me into Google or wherever, whatever you're on. I'm there. Yeah, it's simple as that. Yeah.
Perfect. Kieran Hyland, artist, it's been a pleasure talking to you this evening.
Thanks, Ray. We're sorry
for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Kieran Hyland, thank you.
Cheers, Dave. Good luck.
And that's it for another week. Thanks for joining us this morning, and do join us next time on Be Your Best You. Have a good week.